Well, it was kind of funny. Teresa, I told her I was doing the podcast after practice, and then I said, "Oh, I'm bringing a record," and she's like, "Oh, I thought you," and I grabbed R.E.M, and she's like, "I thought you only did albums you hated." Well, they only seem to want to do albums I hate.
Welcome to Side 1, Side B with Dave and Steve. I'm Dave.
And I'm Steve.
And today we have...
Sean.
And Sean, you brought your album today. So what are we talking about today, Sean?
We are talking about R.E.M. Document number 5.
Nice.
Johnny 5 is alive. No,
Yes.
It's Document is R.E.M.'s obviously 5th album because they called it Document 5. And it's like their... I always thought of this album as their bridge from when they went to their bigger label, because they had 5 albums on the IRS label, and then their next album was on the big label, and this is kind of like the bridge album of their old sound plus their sound that they were heading towards. And also it was the first album that was produced by the producer Scott Litt, who kind of kept on going with their next album, which was Green, and then Out of Time, which was their mega hit with Losing My Religion and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the transitional period, like the end of their time as an indie band, as they were becoming kind of huge monster mega stars because of Kurt Cobain. Since Kurt Cobain liked talking about his favorite bands, R.E.M. benefited a lot from that, but it wasn't just that. They had been gaining momentum a lot up to that point.
What do you know about R.E.M. there, Steven?
I pretty much only know the song It's the End of the World as we know it, because I really like apocalypse songs.
Nice. But so you don't know any of the other ones, like Everybody Hurts or Losing My Religion or Stand, or What's the Frequency, Kenneth?
My assumption is I might recognize some of those just based on sound, but I don't know like by name or anything.
Good thing is none of those songs are on this album.
Nope, I was going for their big hits when they signed to a major.
Gotcha.
When I was talking about like other songs. Yeah.
The only song that's on this album is It's the End of the World as we know it, and I Feel Fine.
Yeah.
But they also had another big hit, which was The One I Love.
Oh, I know that one. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great album. It's probably one of my top 10 albums ever.
Yeah, it's very good. Like, my favorite albums of theirs are all their first 5. This one is not my very favorite out of all of them, but it's still really good.
Yeah, I have a hard time with their first 5 saying which one's my favorite, because I love the one before this, which was Life's Rich Pageant, was a great album.
Yeah.
I think the one I know which one I like the least, which was Fables of the Reconstruction.
No, that's still a fantastic album.
It's still a great album. It's just my least favorite of 5 fantastic albums. Reckoning is great. Murmur is fantastic, so it's hard to say which one is my favorite out of the 5, but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure having listened to them a lot recently, Document's probably my favorite.
Yeah, Document's really good. It was kind of interesting though, like their sound was evolving through this period. Like their first EP and then like the first 3 of their IRS albums were kind of more Americana almost.
Yeah.
And then like their 4th it's kind of like a post-punk album. And then by this, it was like bigger, more radio sound pop rock. Don't mean that in a derogatory sense. Just this song is like very radio ready compared to some of their earlier work. Like it's like a lot of songs that you can just kind of latch onto and get the hook and go with that.
Yeah, I think yeah, Life's Rich Pageant was definitely their like, okay, we're gonna try to go a little bit more mainstream sounding, but it still has their older sound to it, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Steve looks very stimulated by the conversation.
The lineup, real quick, it was Bill Berry on drums, percussion, backing vocals, Peter Buck on guitar and dulcimer on King of Birds, Mike Mills, bass guitar, keyboards, backing vocals, and Michael Stipe on lead vocals. Additional musicians were Steve Berlin on horns and Carl Marsh on the Fairlight CMI synthesizer.
Carl Marsh.
Carl Marsh.
That sounds like a Karl Marx ripoff name. or like he's trying to evade patrols. What's your name? Carl Marsh.
Carl Marsh. Now I am leaving England for Germany.
Well, you will see too that you're not probably far off, because they are kind of a politically charged band even at this time, especially like some of the songs that are on here that I won't give away.
I'm looking at the first one called Finest Work Song, and I'm thinking that I'm probably going to need to add that to my anti-work song list that I made recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
On all those streaming platforms.
Because it is very much, that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Well, and then like
you might have heard the song before, because I think it had some radio play. It's really, you'll like it.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Do you have the record sleeve?
Oh yeah, I'll describe.
Yeah. It doesn't really have an insert except for like what the
owned.
I think the insert was the what the album was, the actual record was covered in.
All right, so I got the artwork here. We got the logo up in the corner, says R.E.M. number 5, indicating that this is the 5th record. And then documents in a font. There is a picture. The person appears to be... Is that like an old-timey telephone? I can't tell what that is.
That's kind of what it looks like to me.
It's kind of abstract.
Yeah. It's kind of... It's very artsy picture.
That looks like it could be you, Dave, like with their face, like...
Yeah.
And then you see kind of like a house or like a trailer in the background.
Yeah. I think that might be Michael Stipe on the front. I don't know for sure. He used to have hair.
Yeah, I'm not sure who it is.
I see like a scarf, so I don't know. I kind of get like Doctor Who vibes from it.
I wonder if it says the original sleeve for the album featured a message, "File under fire," a reference to what Michael Stipe considered to be the central lyrical theme of the album, and also a reference to the chorus, "The One I Love." Similar to "File Underwater," which could be found on their cover of their second album, Reckoning, as well as on the compilation album eponymous, "File Under Grain," referring to the idea that talk about the passion, which was about hunger. And then they had 2 reject titles for the album, which was R.E.M. number 5 and Table of Content, which also appear on the album sleeve artwork. It doesn't have any like really what the album cover is a picture of.
Yeah, I can't really tell. I've turned it around.
It is kind of like a hodgepodge of images, at least in my opinion.
I don't know, Dave. What do you think is going on?
It looks like a blurring between the subject and the object in a photograph. Like it looks like this is a picture of a house, that's chopped up and in poor condition, but that the photographer is somehow in the shot. So while he's trying to show something that's destroyed, he's showing his own personal destruction. That is my interpretation.
Which is kind of funny because I think the music video for it's the end of the world as we know it. It's like a kid in a dilapidated house.
Oh yeah, that was like that video. That the kid is that was his house that had just gotten destroyed in a tornado, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I just turned it to its side, and it totally changes perspective. Like, you can see the house and the car.
Huh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so yeah, if anybody has a copy of this, like, turn it to its side, and yeah, you can see the house. God, yeah, none of this makes sense. I wonder if this is like some kind of weird photography. Like,
Well, they were like arty.
Yeah. And I was totally talking out of my ass when I came up with that description. I just wanted to see if I could deliver it with confidence.
Well, I
Hey,
mean,
you-
that's
you
what we podcasters do. We just talk out of our ass.
You tricked me.
Then you turn it around, and it looks like a painting of people playing soccer with the earth. So I'm
Yeah, it's kind of like looks like a religious type painting of it.
Well, you know how like that picture of Atlas with the globe on his back? It's like that's the future libertarians think they're going to get, and then this picture is what future actually is under libertarianism.
To me, what I kind
right-wing libertarianism.
To me, what I kind of see it as is, you know, that game like from middle school gym where you had to like lie down and try to keep a ball in the air. That's what it looks like, but with the world.
Everybody's playing a game with the world.
Yeah.
With their feet.
The world loves foot stuff.
Who's that Nickelodeon guy that really likes feet? Dan Schneider.
Yeah.
Dan Schneider, we know you're listening, so that one's for you.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, Dan Schneider. I don't even know who you are.
He really likes feet and abusing his child actors. Allegedly. Let's see. So you open it up. On the sleeve, I can see a couple photographs of what I assume are band members up in the corner. Very teeny. Another painting. It looks like a bunch of people trying to comfort one guy. And then you turn it around, and it looks like cavemen. What, or maybe it's... one guy looks like he's a medieval soldier, so the other ones must be peasants. I'll let Dave
confidently tell us what it's about.
Deliver it with confidence, Dave.
Okay. Looks like this one, it looks like, it's almost like a religious painting, like, people driving like a prophet out of his hometown, almost. Because you have a bunch of people, you know, like leaning in with their hands out and someone who looks like they're running away from them. And everyone's wearing, you know, like, head coverings of some kind, like turbans. So like they live in a desert environment. Then on the back... This looks like an Art Deco propaganda poster, basically, about the virtue of labor.
Yeah, it looks like they're like planting something like
a steel beam, like it's a tree.
Yeah. That's what, and they're like in the backdrop is like a mountain. And then yeah, I say it's like kind of like a religious painting. And you are correct, that is the band in the corner in the teeny tiny pictures. So we can production, like I said, Scott Litt in R.E.M. Engineer, Scott Litt. Mastering, Bob Ludwig. Recording facility was Sound Emporium in Nashville. Additional engineering was Gary Laney. Additional engineering, Todd Scholler and Todd Durr. Mixing facility, Master Control, Los Angeles. Additional engineering, Steve Cantina. There's a lot of people. So we're just going to stop there because there was a lot of people on there.
And then to describe the vinyl itself, it looks like somebody just came all over it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was.
Or it looks like it's like dirty, like somebody tried to wipe it off and it.
But I think this is a newer print, so because I bought it off of Amazon, and I think it's a special edition,
which means an audiophile would hate it.
Yeah, so they can suck my dick. Anyways,
audiophiles hate all the Metallica copies that I bought, and they do sound kind of flat, so kind of get where they're coming from.
And they can go fuck themselves. Anyways, doesn't matter.
Everybody can go fuck themselves. We can all have a good time fucking ourselves.
Speaking of fucking yourself or fucking something, how do you get a dog to stop humping your leg?
Suck its dick.
You pick it up and suck its dick.
You sick bastard.
Anywho, let's start the record.
Oh, are we gonna? Were you gonna do the track list? Did we do the track list?
Oh, I didn't.
not,
I can.
yeah.
Do you want me to do the track list?
Yeah, go ahead and do the track
All
list,
right.
and then.
Side 1 is Finest Work Song. Welcome to the Occupation. Exhuming McCarthy. Disturbance at the Heron House. Strange. And It's the End of the World as We Know It, and I Feel Fine.
All right. Well, let's get this cum record going.
Come lightly.
Hey, Dave, have you ever seen the Ben Garrison cum edit subreddit?
I have. Many times.
Isn't that what the Metallica cover is full of cum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes me want to listen to the other side.
Leonard Bernstein. And we are back.
From the end of the world as we know it. Oh, wait, cut that out.
Birthday party cheesecake jelly bean.
Boom!
Scared the cat on purpose for that. So, Steve, what did you think?
Since this was your first time hearing that.
Yeah, the only one I was familiar with was The End of the World as We Know It. The rest of the side is something on the lighter side of alternative rock, which I really enjoyed. I thought the bass on the whole side sounded huge. The songwriting up until End of the World I thought was very restrained, and I think it helped make that song hit harder as a result. And then, of course, the politically conscious lyrics really caught my attention. I hate to say it, but the lyrics on this album have aged very well.
Like, every song except the cover is a political song, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't true for, like, every album of theirs either, but yeah, this one...
I could argue, like, there's a sense of politics in a lot of their albums.
Oh, for sure. There's no album without a political song, but
Yeah.
this one's, like, all political.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Orange Crush was about Agent Orange, you know, so...
Yeah. Yeah, they were definitely a band that explicitly brought out their politics, but I think this one is one of the ones they do it more. I'll have to listen to the other side before I say every track on the whole thing is political, but the first side, yeah.
It is pretty political, so...
I'm surprised with the radical 80s and 90s that Agent Orange was never used as the name of like a Kool-Aid drink or something like that.
Oh, so...
Because it sounds like a delicious
Well, they got
Kool-Aid
orange.
drink.
Well, it's called, the song's called Orange Crush.
Yeah. So my favorite bar from Omaha that no longer exists, Brothers Lounge, had a cocktail called the Agent Orange.
But that was named after a band called Agent Orange.
Yes, which was named after Agent, like the defoliant, but yeah.
That band sounds delicious.
They have one song. Well, they have like a few songs, but like they're known for one song, and
Bloodstains.
the rest of the songs don't stand out as much. So
I
yeah.
think I have a punk tribute to Metallica around somewhere in my CD collection that has a song. That,
Is
like,
it Bloodstains?
Oh, I don't remember which one they did, but I'm pretty sure they're on that.
Bloodstains, deep drills, fast cars.
I lost my sense. I lost myself.
It's around in mine. Agent Orange not in the house, by the way.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah.
I know, flawless impersonation.
But yeah, I think I like this album. I think it's a very confident album. It definitely is one that it's very deliberate and considered. Like, all the songs are thought out, like what order they're put in and how the arrangement is. And it definitely says, we're here, we know people are paying attention now, here it is, basically.
And really, what you're saying is like, oh, like the other songs weren't as punchy until you get to It's the End of the World as You Know It. It's really an album that you have to listen to multiple times. Like, you can't just listen to it once and say, okay, I'm good, you know.
Oh, yeah, I imagine there are a
like,
bunch of layers that
there is
didn't hit my ears at this particular time.
Yeah, there's just so much nuance to it that it's...
Would you say this is one that might be better with headphones?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I would say it's better to get like a really good mastered copy of it with headphones on. But it's really... Because like Finest Work song like kicks the album off like with a punch, and like it's about like workers' exploitation and like people not working together, and that's kind of what the song is about mostly.
Hey, and I have songs about that on my solo album.
Yeah.
Almost communistic, you might say.
Well, and it's interesting because the lyrics on all the political songs on this one still applies to this day, which it tells you that we entered Reaganomics and we never left it. In fact, like a lot of people glorify Bill Clinton, but he continued so many Reaganomic policies that I besides some social policies, I barely see the difference.
Yeah. Yeah, like, yeah. We've already kind of started talking about the individual tracks. So yeah, Finest Work song. That's a great opening guitar riff. I love, like, Peter Buck would frequently use like a Rickenbacker, which is why it has that jangly sound, and I think he makes a good use of that particular guitar. I can't imagine him using pretty much any other guitar for his style. You know, like a lot of arpeggios. Yeah, the drums and bass sound huge in this song in particular, and I like how they keep bringing in small elements as it keeps going. Like how in the second verse there's like a little slide guitar bit in there. And then for me, the MVP for this whole thing is starting with the second chorus, Mike Mills coming in on the backup vocals. Just
yeah. Mike Mills added so much to their songs, like not only being a fantastic bass player, but like just his high pitched or higher registered voice, like in contrast with Michael Stipe's voice. So it's like, you know, because he was the one that would, like, when it was like your finest hour, and then behind it was he's the one that was hitting those higher notes in the background.
It's nice when you have bands where most of the members are vocal. I feel like it helps add a lot of diversity, especially when the members have different ranges and different timbres and pitches and whatnot.
And then Peter Buck, right? Isn't that the drummer?
No, Peter Buck's the guitar player. The drummer is
Barry.
Yeah.
Bill Barry. His vocals, like, his aren't as pronounced, like, as, like, Mills or Stipes, but, like, his vocals definitely help, like, lift everything up, too. Because he kind of comes in and does, like, some punchy, like, helping, you know. I think he has kind of the same register as Stipes, so he sometimes gets pushed in the background.
Yeah, he's usually the one singing along with Stipe, while Mike Mills is the one doing his own thing.
Octave. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, that was the Finest Work song, which is a fine song.
Yeah, I liked the two different breakdowns. I thought they were well placed. It did a lot to help it like come back in with like the full strength of the chorus.
It was a very fine work song.
Yes. And it was their third single on the album, and it reached number 50 in the UK charts. So
their least charting as a single, I think, off this album.
Yeah. And then Welcome to the Occupation.
My favorite song on the record.
God, the lyrics of this one just... I was sitting there reading it, and I'm like, God, this aged too well.
Yeah.
So have you seen the movie Walker, Steve?
I don't think so.
I don't think anybody's seen that movie.
Oh, now we have.
We
That
have
was the
now.
first time I saw it last night.
Or
Our
Friday.
book club, or Friday, yeah. Our book club will oftentimes watch a movie after we're done with book club, and we had done a Western, and so we wanted to watch a movie that was kind of a Western, and one of our members brought like 3 DVDs he had, and one of them was Alex Cox's Walker. And it's kind of a Western, but it kind of isn't. It's about a American, the term was filibuster at the time, but like a guy who, like an American guy who went down first into Mexico and then into Nicaragua, and then just basically started his own government and made himself president.
Basically occupying Nicaragua, and like he started to try to control the trade down there.
Oh, goody.
And he reintroduced slavery.
But the film is batshit crazy. Anyways,
Yeah, it's a comedy.
it's like Blazing Saddles, but I don't think anybody got it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Anyways,
It's a very good movie. I recommend it. This podcast recommends you watch Walker. But yeah, it reminded me of that. Like, there's like Welcome to the Occupation was kind of about that same thing, you know. Like, I'm gonna bring up the lyrics here to
so
support my thesis.
I think R.E.M. while you're doing that, like R.E.M. did talk a lot about like how the Indian or Native Americans, sorry, were like taken over, and I think sometimes that's part of what Welcome to the Occupation means, because I think but I think that's also talking about like occupation of like politics too.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I think this is largely about Native Americans, but is also, you know, about just like a controlling colonial power. Like the very last verse, the sugar cane and coffee cup, copper, steel and cattle.
But I think
Yeah.
it's not about. I think it's about. They're talking about like down in the Caribbean,
Yeah.
because he's saying sugar cane and coffee.
Yeah. I think it's probably about several different colonial occupations.
So it is about colonialism in general. All your fallen heroes skinned alive, you know. That's
Yeah.
so fucked up.
Listen to the Congress fire offering the educated.
And
Yeah.
primitive and wild.
Yeah, and like this, one of the main reasons why this is my favorite song on the album is I like how haunting it is. I like how it still has like the jangliness of like the Rickenbacker being played, but it like has a very menacing tone to it. And then I like how it builds to the end, just to the repeating the "listen to me" with more and more intensity as it keeps going. I think this is the quintessential R.E.M. song on this, in that it has all the elements that makes the band work for me, all like within this one song. Just like the hugeness of the drums and bass, the inventiveness of the guitar playing, you know, like with the jangly arpeggios, but still conveying a mood that is very different from, say, This Charming Man by the Smiths, which is the guitar riff I think of when I think of a Rickenbacker, which is a good song. I'm just saying this is a very different kind of song than that. And then just like the way the vocals are delivered and just the building intensity, this is everything that works about this album for me.
Well, at the time, like when they first came out, Peter Buck was compared to Johnny Marr a lot.
Oh, he's a very similar player, not just because of the model of guitar he uses, but like the use of like arpeggios and the general tone, which it's a good guitar for that tone, but it's not like you have to play that tone with that guitar either.
Yeah.
I think this one kind of reminded me of some of Roger Waters' songwriting, except executed better. Love Roger Waters, but he doesn't always hit the mark.
No. It has a little more subtlety than Waters can sometimes have. Yeah.
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 A little more poetic, make you work a little bit more to find the meaning.
Then Exhuming McCarthy, about bringing back McCarthyism, which hits really home
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. I like how like just much of a left turn it is though as a song after Welcome to the Occupation. Just like
Did we really need a third Red Scare?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Maybe
like
we're on the fourth one at this point, honestly. Yeah.
but it's funny because he's like, or the funny thing about R.E.M. is they can make such a grim sounding song sound happy.
Yeah. This one sounds like
It's so happy, but it's like talking about bringing back like such a horrible thing that happened back in the 50s.
yeah, witch hunts basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I liked about it too is like the sound. The sound reminded me a bit of another Athens band, the B-52s.
I thought while listening to this entire side, I was reminded of B-52s at various points.
Yeah, but this one especially. This one sounded like if the B-52s did a prog song, basically.
And also like I think they were also making fun of kind of like Trump type people at the time who would go on like retreats, and they would do like those businessmen retreats where it was like, you know, like the art of the deal kind of thing, like being like primitive, and like because it says like you're sharpening stones and walking on coals to improve your business acumen.
That kind of stuff still happens.
So yeah, like they're kind of making fun of that, like those
Tribal.
the guys that are
yeah.
trying to be like the alpha male type
Yeah,
thing. You
it's
know,
kind of like the kind of like roughing it in a very touristy way to improve your business acumen.
yeah.
Yeah, it reminded me of all those stupid CEO fucks.
Yeah, the ones that go to like the training camp to live like knights or whatever.
That's kind of what I'm like. I think that's what they were kind of getting at too.
Yeah, I was getting like flashes from like, I don't know, American Psycho in my head, like when he was saying like business acumen and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, and then he also says like enemy sided, enemy met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But saying all that with like some jaunty horns that makes you kind of want to, you know, like kick your
Dance.
feet. Yeah. Like I almost imagine too, you know, like a line of horn players like playing it, and you like doing the synchronized kicks every time they do like the single note blast in between words. Yeah.
And then they were kind of really on the nose too in the part where there's the breakdown, and it has like when Senator McCarthy was basically like censured by Congress, and it's like where it says, "Haven't you done enough? Have you no decency at long last?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has the actual recording of that.
Yeah.
Musically, I really liked how it had a shift from alt rock to something more funky like that. Like it just shifted to it without any issues whatsoever. And then I really liked the surfy lead guitar on it.
Yeah. And then next is Disturbance at the Heron House.
Disturbance at the Heroin House.
Yes.
Which is kind of like, it's I think of it as like an Animal Farm kind of song.
Yeah, kind of it's kind of like about propaganda
Yeah.
and about people buying into it and getting people to go along with stuff, which does tie into like
It does kind of
themes of
remind
Animal
you
Farm.
of like
Yeah.
those clips I've seen of people at like Trump's rallies and stuff.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
how much of an event it is for them. Like how much like bread and circuses goes on at those types of events.
Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, I liked it reminded me kind of Sinead O'Connor, which the other songs didn't really as much. It was, I don't know, kind of that like that reverb on it, kind of the vocal delivery. Yeah, it reminded me of her, or at least like her stuff that would have been new around this time.
I actually really love the drums in this one because it's like doon 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 doon. They're not
Yeah.
just playing like a solid beat, but they're like they're doing something fun. I don't know.
Yeah, it's less dancey than Exhuming McCarthy, but yeah. It's a good song, and it's like, and it's weird too because like out of the whole album, it is like, it's like the fourth track, so it's like well into the album, and it's like every song still sounds really like different and stands out because it doesn't sound like the previous song, which didn't sound like the previous song, which didn't sound like the previous song. So like there's like a lot of variety into this. It doesn't really settle into a singular sound.
But you can tell like this album was like well produced. You know,
Yeah.
like they did it. Like Scott Litt was instrumental in making them sound very good.
Yeah, the
And, like,
production
yeah.
on these songs were superb.
And then Strange, the Wire cover. This makes sense that they would cover Wire to me, because Wire was a British punk band from the 70s. They were, like, their first album came out in 77, when most punk bands from that time, like, started off. They were part of that whole early generation of UK punk, but they were kind of like the weirdy art school kids out of the whole thing. Like, by the time of their third album, it was like all experimental post-punk, and their first song, this is off their first album, Pink Flag, and it was the weirdest song on it. This one, like, R.E.M. plays it like much more like straightforward as a punk song. You know, it's not like the same kind of arpeggios like in previous songs. It's a lot of like downstroke and, you know, like rhythm guitar type stuff. But yeah, it was, yeah, Wire were like the art school weirdos of the punk scene, and so like kind of R.E.M. putting themselves, you know, in context of like the alternative college radio scene from the 80s, you know, like they're comparing themselves to like Black Flag and the Minutemen and Nirvana and Sonic Youth and all that, kind of putting themselves in like the, hey, we're kind of like the Wire of this scene. We're the college kids who do artier stuff. Was kind of a statement, which I brought up the Minutemen specifically because the Minutemen's very last tour before D. Boone died was opening for R.E.M. And I wish there was a recording of this, but it's frequently written about in bands and songs like "Our Band Could Be Your Life." But like all of the Minutemen came up on stage during R.E.M.'s encore, and they did a cover of "See No Evil" by Television with like 2 drums, 2 basses, 2 guitars type of thing. That would have been so amazing to hear.
Oh yeah.
And I really wish like high quality bootleg existed of it. I don't think even a low quality bootleg existed of it, because I only hear people like mentioning it in interviews or writing about it, and I've never heard like a recording of it. It's like
That always drives me nuts when you see an account of something that happened, but there was no bootleg of it.
yeah,
Which would never happen today. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
in some situations, I suppose it would happen, but very rarely.
and then like after the last time, after like the show they did, that was like the last Minutemen show, I think, because like it was after that D. Boone fell asleep at the wheel and died. So
It's interesting that based on your description of this, when I was listening to it, I thought it had kind of more of an old school like rock and roll type vibe. So based on your description, I don't know, I guess I was picturing them covering something that was more along the lines of like when you brought in the Tom Robinson band.
Yeah.
How close would that be?
I'd say it's closer to the Tom Robinson band than to like a street punk thing, but it's still, you know, like Wire. I'll do a Wire album some point, or you should listen to the original at some point. It's like it was like very like choppy, angular type of punk / post punk. Then that started incorporating like synthesizers and tape sounds in the second album. Until that was like the main thing by the third album.
I've never heard it, so
Yeah, Wire is one of my favorite bands. I'll make you listen to them sometime.
Guess you'll have to make Sean listen to them too.
yeah,
Yes,
I guess.
Yeah, we could do the album that this is on at some point. Pink Flag.
Okay.
It has the other song that is famous by being covered by an '80s band. 12XU, Minor Threat covered it.
Oh.
Saw you in a
okay.
mag, kissing a man. Saw you in a mag, kissing a man. Saw you in a mag, kissing a man. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. And then finally we have "It's the End of the World as We Know It, and I Feel Fine."
I've successfully and unsuccessfully done this song at karaoke. It's a song that you want to do early in the evening, and that you want to like go over the lyrics before they're showing up on the screen. If you try to do it blind while you've had a few drinks in you, you're not gonna make it. But if you are sober or relatively sober and have at least looked over the lyrics, you can
Actually, I did this at my wife's Christmas party,
Nice.
and I had to not look at the lyrics because because I just was going by the sound, like the da, 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 da. So when I was looking at the lyrics, it was fucking me up.
Yeah.
So I had to I covered my eyes and didn't watch the lyrics, and I did, and I sang it better.
Yeah. Leonard Bernstein.
Anyways.
Yeah.
It's funny that back in the day, I had a list of cover songs I wanted to do with Megaton that were all like apocalypse themed, and this one was on there. But we never, I don't think I ever brought it to the band's attention because I'm like, nah, we'd butcher that.
See, and the thing is this is it's hard to have such an upbeat song with so many lyrics in it.
I think this is a reason why you have a front man who doesn't play an instrument.
Yeah.
So you can do songs like this.
And I saw somewhere that Peter Buck said that this was very much like Bob Dylan's Homesick Subterranean Blues.
Yeah, just cram in a bunch of lyrics.
Lyrics that don't really mean nothing.
People 300 years in the future will be looking at this song's lyrics as a reference point for 80s historian stuff.
Yeah. Birthday party cheesecake, jelly bean, boom. What does that mean? Yeah.
What's cheesecake?
Yeah.
What's jelly bean? But yeah.
This has been listening to the song too has been a source of comfort for me when I've been catastrophizing about the news too, though. Just and I feel fine. Yeah.
Upbeat about the end of the world.
I think I listened to this one a whole bunch after Trump was elected the first time.
Yeah.
I remember there was a radio station when I was a kid.
The Edge, wasn't it?
101.9 The Edge.
Yeah.
And when they were taken off the air, they played the song for the whole, on repeat for 24 hours. When they were canceled or whatever.
It was a great station. It got taken off the air because they played an uncensored song. This is how I remember things. I don't know if this for sure is what it was, but apparently they played an uncensored song and someone called the FCC on them.
No.
FCC won't let me be.
See, I agree they were a good station. But I also want to say, too, they were playing modern music, and at the time it was 90s music.
Yeah.
And modern music in the 90s was good. So we remember them fondly for playing good music, but if they were still around today and they were playing modern music, we'd probably think they sucked.
Depends on the modern music, but yeah, but what if they had made it even later into the 90s and were playing a bunch of new metal? Yeah.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I feel like modern music, this point in time, is the best it's been in a while.
Yeah, it's been better than it was 2 years ago, I think. Yeah.
Well, there was a point where everything was just slow and boring. And it
I felt like it felt like a music desert in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
You eventually find stuff that was happening in smaller scenes, but at the time it really felt like a lot of music scenes were just dead.
Yeah. There was a period a couple years ago where your main options for hip hop were either depressing ballads or the white guy with a SoundCloud era of hip hop.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Everyone knows what I mean when I say that, but yeah.
Or that period where mumble rap was a thing for a while.
That was the same period. Yeah.
Well, should we move on to side 2?
Yeah, so we got The One I Love, that's another song I'm familiar with. Fireplace, Lightnin' Hopkins, King of Birds, Oddfellows Local 151.
And since there's a dulcimer on King of Birds, I will point out that I saw a friend of mine play a 5-song set at a house show on a dulcimer last night, and now I think I want to get one.
I endorse that.
The cool thing about dulcimers is you can play them anywhere and they sound good.
Yeah. I want to see if I can get an electric one and maybe hook it up to some weird pedals.
All right. Let's do it. See, doesn't it make you want to flip the album over again and listen to it all over again?
Yeah.
Steve's like, no.
Second listen through time.
Well, we've had first listen, yes, but what about second listen? I don't know why I said it like a snooty Londoner.
Because you are a snooty bitch.
That's the only way you know how to do English. Snooty. You can't do Cockney.
Firehouse!
Fire came up. I can understand why they put fire on the front, especially after, like, this side, fire came up as, like,
I think
pretty prominently, like, 3 songs.
Yeah, the one I love, Fireplace, and Lightning is still kind of a fire.
Yeah.
You know, it's electric fire. King of Birds now. But then Oddfellows Local 151, yeah.
Yeah, this was the fireside.
Yeah.
Fireside chat. Fireside listen, and we're back.
Oh,
Steve will start it and not tell us generally.
I
Just
know.
look over at the computer. And
what
see the
a
lines.
cunt.
That's because I want content to farm, to put in places.
All right, so that was side B. Steve, what did you think of the side as a whole?
I thought this side was a bit more... How do I put it?
Eclectic.
Yeah, eclectic. That's a good way to put it. I said on the first side, I felt like it was very restrained up until the songwriting and the balance of the sound. I would say was very restrained. On this side, I would say a little less so. There was some more experimentation. You know, there was a dulcimer, there was a sax. I feel each song on this side had a different vibe, whereas the first side, I felt all the songs on that side fit the same general vibe, with some deviations here and there. And I really like all of the places that it went.
Yeah, and I can't imagine a different order to put the songs in either, too, because this is, like, it was less focused of a journey, but it was still a journey that you could feel it taking turns.
Yeah. There wasn't any moments on the album as a whole, even, that I was bored. It was a very, very well written album. Very well produced. It was very well balanced. There's a lot of things going on, but they were able to put it into the mix, I'd say, perfectly, which is very hard to do.
like I said, this is why it's like one of my top albums ever of all time.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to love on this one.
Yeah, I thought about I know this is going to something else, but I thought about starting with Murmur, but then I was like, let's just start with, like, you know, the banger up front with R.E.M, and maybe Steve will be like, yeah, bring in more R.E.M. Megaton. Sorry.
And then we'll do one of the more Americana albums later.
Yeah, this side is, I think it's cohesive in its theme of, like, it feels like Lost and, like, Fire, like you were saying, is the theme is that's kind of the theme of this side. And yeah, and you know, it starts off with like their big single of this whole album, and the single that kind of broke them through the top 40.
Yeah,
that's a song. Even not being very aware of this band's like other songs, that's like a depression song. That's like a, like, for the same reasons I listened to The Cure, I've listened to that song.
Yeah, I think it's really funny that I've heard that song at a wedding.
I think it's funny that people miss the meaning of it.
Well, it's kind of like Kurt Cobain's lyrics, like, they don't know what it means.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard somewhere too, like, people say it's a, you know, a love song or not a love song, but like, because it's just someone that was a placeholder song, but also it's like, I heard somewhere it also is a political song, because like the one I love, like like it's a political speech. Like, this one goes out to the one I love. You know, like politicians saying they love the people they love, but they use the people as a prop.
Is R.E.M. playing 3D chess on us?
Yeah, that's what I've heard the song is actually about, and I could be totally wrong, but I like to think that's what it's about.
I think they would be cagey if you asked them directly.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah.
But it, like, yeah, I think of it as a political person using people as props. That's why that's why it's funny to me that people say it's a or think that it's a love song, because they only hear the surface lyrics.
My interpretation is it's a narcissist that uses people for sex.
These aren't mutually exclusive either. Like, it can be about both at the same time.
What is a politician if he's not fucking people?
Yeah.
This song's about Matt Gaetz. Oh no.
The one I left behind, I could go to either interpretation. Another prop to occupy my time. Yeah.
Yep, it's about Matt Gaetz.
Yep.
In both aspects.
They predicted Matt Gaetz.
R.E.M. was probably they broke into the Vatican and used that machine that they have that they can use to view the past, because apparently the Pope has a machine that lets you view the past, and they let R.E.M. use it, and they wrote that song about Matt Gaetz.
Only to see the future.
Only. Anyways, Fireplace. What did you think of that song, Steve?
Oh, I love the sax part on it.
The
Anytime a
sax.
song has a sax in it, for some reason I love that. I don't know why.
Yeah. This felt like a shift, but not entirely of a shift back into the political. If you don't read The One I Love as political, which you definitely can, but it wasn't like as obvious as like side one either. Steve looked it up while we were listening to it. It's apparently about the Shakers, which was a utopian Quaker movement that was big into like ecstatic dancing, and there are apparently still, in this year 2024, the year of recording, this will be released in 2025, but there's still like 2 Shakers left, exactly 2 in this religious movement. I don't know if you can really have a religious movement with 2 people. Like, do they like go to church and one of them preaches to the other one? Like, how does this work?
Well, it's like you see those towns that have 2 people. It's like, how do they decide who's the sheriff and who's the mayor?
Yeah. Well, it's like the Shakers are about celibacy, so it's like, I guess you don't have families in the church, so that's how you can.
Well, that's how you kill yourself out. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just to give a shout out to the Silver Poets 96 on our R.E.M. 4 years ago. We got that information from that.
My interpretation was like tearing the system down, because he taught. It's like, because it's like crazy world, and then give up your chairs, a bittersweet.
Yeah.
And then, but you're right, it does say clear the floor to dance, and then he's like, but he's always like, throw something into the fireplace, like throw the chairs into the fireplace.
Yeah.
Throw the walls into the fireplace, so like, you know, the Berlin Wall. That's what I was thinking.
Crazy world, burn everything down to dance in the ashes.
Yeah.
It's funny, everybody has their own like little interpretations, because when I was reading the lyrics, like, I was trying to piece together what it was about, and my mind went to like, I don't know, some guy at the end of his shift at midnight, like mopping up the floors and shit while the revolution's going on around him, and then finally just decides to go, fuck it.
Yeah.
And they'd probably like that interpretation, though, so.
Probably would, yeah. Lightning Hopkins. I liked how rumbly the bass and drums were at the beginning.
This song really reminded me of Primus. Like, I could hear Les Claypool singing it. I could hear an exaggerated version of this. So, Les Claypool, we know you listen. Cover this song.
Reminded me of Faith No More, too, but yeah, probably more like Primus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Patton, we know you're listening, too. So, you both make a cover of this song and appease us.
Yes.
Your devoted podcast.
Maybe do it as a combined project with both of your bands.
See, and I don't really have an interpretation of this song, Lightning Hopkins.
It seems like it's just a fun song about like a folklore character type of thing.
Yeah.
R.E.M. always had like an interest in like bizarre Americana too. You know,
Yeah.
like the kind of like weird folklore type. You know, the weird little guy who goes around and ties an acorn to his belt or whatever, that type of thing.
There's actually a guy named Lightning Hopkins.
Oh, maybe that's what
Maybe
it's
it is.
about. Lightning one.
Apparently, the punk rock MBA could get away with just reading stuff on Wikipedia. So
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
I always
Yeah.
thought it was just kind of a dance because I don't think
Yeah.
there's much to the lyrics.
It could be like if it's a real person who's a musician, it could be a reference to his work. But yeah, it was a fun song.
As
A
Steve
fun song
dies.
about a weird, tricky guy, like outwits people type of thing.
it's funny because when I oh okay, it does look like it's about Sam John Lightning Hopkins, an American blues musician who has influenced many great rock bands of the '60s. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, that tracks. That's that reminds me of the blues.
Yeah.
that song didn't sound like the blues at all.
Oh, it didn't sound like it, but like the lyrics, like just reading the lyrics, that looks like blues to me.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah. Which is probably where I was getting like that folklore stuff. Was
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, speaking of folklore, so we go into the next one, King of Birds. I felt had like a really like folksy vibe. Like I could see like, I don't know, somebody like Bob Dylan doing it. So
I like the stompiness to it too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you pointed out they have a lot of songs like this that are really folksy. So that's neat.
Yeah, I liked how sometimes though, like the vocals would speed up in their delivery while the music was still going slow. Like not through like the whole song, but there'd be like, just like, I'm just gonna deliver a bunch of syllables at once because I can. Moments.
Well, they did a lot of like over, like kind of like you know, when you row your boat and then someone starts the next, like,
yeah, like
you
in
know.
like in Star Trek V.
Yes.
I was thinking Dirty Harry, but you know, come on, sing, damn it, sing, row your boat.
At some point, because I have a Laserdisc player, and because we can do the side 1, side B format, we're going to be doing Laserdiscs.
Well, you guys have fun with that.
Laser discs of Star Trek V and Dirty Harry.
But
I definitely want to do Star Trek V for like April Fools or something.
But yeah, they did that duel like where one would start and then it'd get to a certain point and then it would start
Singing in
back.
rounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rounds. So and then like my interpretation of this song is like, old man, you're not yet young. There's time to teach people. It's like teaching people lessons from the past, kind of thing. That was always my interpretation.
Which
like,
singing in rounds definitely feeds into that.
yeah, like teach people, because we learn from things that have gone back, like, you know, like in circular motion, like
Yeah.
the past repeating itself and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah.
It was a cool song, and
Probably my second favorite on the album, because the next song is my favorite on the album.
yeah, it stood out. My favorite from the album is still Welcome to the Occupation, but my favorite on this side and second favorite on the album would probably be the next one too.
Yeah, Welcome to the Occupation probably my third.
Yeah.
I don't usually like count the singles. Like usually I separate those, but sometimes they are legitimately my favorite on the album.
Yeah.
But not in this case.
Sometimes they were released as singles for a reason. But yeah, I guess like all the songs we're talking about as our favorites aren't the singles. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, because I said, I don't know if I was like poisoning the well when I said the next song is my favorite song on the album, but then Steve started listening to it and he's like, yeah, this is my favorite one too.
yeah. I can.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
it's just
It
it
fucking
sounds like a me kind of song. I mean,
But
it's very doomy and sludgy.
But it kicks ass, so who cares? You know, it doesn't fucking matter.
I could see label mates Black Sabbath playing this song.
Yes.
Like, because you know Ozzy's been drunk in an alley behind a fire station probably many times in his life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, probably
In a dress.
Probably a lot more times than he could possibly count. Honestly.
Yeah, and this song carries the theme of fire with it too, because as a fire truck goes by,
Yeah. I don't know if the mic will pick that up, but
there's
yeah.
a fire truck going by. A couple of things. So this song's about there's a firehouse in, I think, Athens, Georgia, where they're from, that homeless people would hang out behind, and it's about that, and it's like why they're like, you know, they have the one guy named Pee Wee. It's called 151 because of Bacardi 151.
Oh, okay.
So there's the part where it says wash off the blood, wash off the 151. Talking about Bacardi rum.
It's funny because my brain wanted me to think this was political, so I concocted like some sort of like, oh, it's about how unions are demonized these days, and then I'm looking at the Reddit explanation of it, and I'm like, oh no, it's just about guys getting drunk in an alley.
Homelessness is a political issue.
Yeah, I mean,
people
yeah.
don't have houses, but yeah, no, it's
And then also another thing, there was a 90s band called Local H, and
yes.
they got the first name Local from this song, and H from another song on which was Swan H on, I think it's on Life's Rich Pageant.
Huh.
So that's how they got their name, Local H.
I
thought it was a
heavy band too.
I thought it was a heroin reference, Local H, but
No, it's a couple metal guys who are really into R.E.M, I guess. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, they're the band that did Bound for the Floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like a two-piece band.
And like their guitar player has like a bass E string attached to like as a seventh string on his guitar to hit the yeah.
There was a local band, well, a Lincoln band, where their player did that, but I can't remember their name right now. Oh well.
But anyways, yeah, this is a really good sludgy, doomy song.
Yeah.
And I mean the contents kind of match the song.
That's something I put on here. It has a sleazy, sludgy, doomy vibe that really fits the subject matter.
Yeah. Athens, Georgia too. Like this would have been around the time when the Butthole Surfers decided to move to Athens, Georgia.
So they're probably hanging out with them and
yeah.
the B-52s.
Yeah. Well, and
not Mastodon yet.
Yeah.
They weren't around yet.
Well, they decided to move to Athens, Georgia because, hey, R.E.M's doing all right. And so they would just like go and follow around the members of R.E.M when they were like at like barbecues and the like. So, you know, there'd be like Peter Buck and Michael Stipe, you know, like getting their food, and then like Gibby Haynes and King Coffee like standing around in the background.
I bet Teenage Mastodon was in the crowd for some of those shows.
I bet they were, yeah.
Teenage Mastodon.
Teenage Mastodon would be a good band name on its own, honestly.
So, what did you think of your first whole album listened to in R.E.M?
Oh yeah, overall it was exactly what I was expecting. Really excellent alternative rock with plenty of, I'll say, progressive elements, since they experimented with different types of instrumentation and song structures and whatnot. It really hit home for me politically. I can see myself listening to this more just when I'm frustrated about the current state of politics, because it's like, oh, they're complaining about Reaganomics, and we're in late stage Reaganomics now, so
yeah.
it's like they saw the beginning of it, and well, they're still around, but now we're all seeing the result of it, and it's like, R.E.M, you were right.
Yep.
Good job.
A lot of like, I think a lot of the 80s music that has aged the best are the things that have talked about politics just because of how those issues were never really resolved, and even if they shuffled it in a slightly different direction, sometimes they didn't shuffle that much and could cut in a way, especially that they could come roaring back. And so it's just like, yep, we still have to deal with this shit. Like even like a lot of the anti-apartheid songs that people wrote about South Africa, you can apply to other situations too. So even ones that are about something very specific, you can map it on to other things. So it's yeah.
Well, this album, I think, is kind of, because they weren't specific in what they were like. They weren't saying like I love Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables by the Dead Kennedys.
Yeah.
However, it's very
specific.
dated.
Yeah.
It's very specific, because like Jerry Brown, he he's not the governor anymore, you know, like, so you listen to that and you're like, who the fuck are these people? I don't know who they are.
It's funny how it became true again for a little while, though.
Yeah.
Although Jello even admitted he wasn't as bad as he thought he was when he wrote that song. He was like, oh, he didn't turn out to be anything close to that, but yeah.
Yeah, but I think because they weren't like specific in what they were, who they were like trying to tear down or like who they were preaching about, it made it so the record became timeless.
Yeah, which is why. Oh, go ahead.
And when I think it's a good time to mention the song we were working on today, Eradicate, originally was about somebody specific, and I chose to generalize it more because this guy doesn't deserve his fucking name on our song.
Yeah, there's always a different asshole too. Like, one of my favorite political punk songs is "Fly the Flag" by Stiff Little Fingers, Irish punk band from the 70s, and it's very specifically, they've said, about Margaret Thatcher, but they don't say her name because they want to make sure that it can apply to anyone else to whom the lyrics could work for. So, like, and as a result, it became kind of timeless. Like, if it had talked about Thatcher, it would feel dated, but when the lyrics are not mentioning anyone's name and saying things like, give me the chance to be one of the few, you get that, and you can apply it to your own time.
Yeah, like God Save the Queen is now dated.
Yeah.
Because she's dead.
She ain't no human being because she's a corpse.
Yeah.
Another thing I will say about this album is it reminded me a lot of the music we'd end up getting in the early 90s, so I'd say it was a little ahead of its time. It obviously had a huge impact on the grunge scene. Like every single one of them, I'm certain, listened to this album.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it came out in '87, right?
Yeah.
Yep, '87.
Yeah, I mentioned while we were listening to it, while this album was being recorded, I was being born.
And like, Nirvana was a huge R.E.M. fan, but I mean,
I can hear that.
Yeah.
The song that got them really big came out in like, didn't Out of Time come out in 90, or was it 89? Because it was, the next album's Green. I think that still came out. I think that came out in 88. Maybe Out of Time came out in 89. I could be wrong, but yeah. So I think their like success like predates Nirvana just a little bit.
Oh yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, they definitely were instrumental in like creating that sound where it was like, you don't have to sound like the 80s hair metal guys to be a good band.
It didn't remind me of the 80s sound at all. Probably one of the first albums in the sound shift that the world was going through culturally at that time.
Yeah, and it was also kind of like a way forward for people who didn't want to do like the established like 80s hair metal sound or like any of the other like mainstream 80s sound, but didn't really feel like they were home in like hardcore punk.
Yeah.
Because it has some punk sensibility to it, like with like the politics and some of like the anger delivered behind it, but it doesn't sound like Black Flag. It doesn't sound like the Dead Kennedys. It's, like rootsier, folksier type of music.
More earthier.
Yeah, earthier.
Yeah, so a lot of grunge bands, they played around with some of the sound and made it sound angrier and made it sound awesome. And then a bunch of bands in the mid-90s, like Nickelback and Creed, went, oh, let's take that sound and make it boring as shit.
Yeah.
Let's fuck it up.
Yeah. Everything will get fucked up if you leave it around long enough.
Like, when we were talking about doing an album for the season finale, like I was thinking, oh, we should do like the first Nickelback album, because like their first one before they got signed, maybe there's something there that we can talk about. And I've heard people say this one's better than most of theirs. No, it's just less produced Nickelback.
Yeah. And like, I can't do too much Nickelback hate because I can't bring myself to care enough a lot of the time.
Patton Oswalt has a great bit about that.
Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, like, so I can't even get too mad at it in a funny way like I did at Def Leppard, because it's just like, I'm just going to tune out eventually and just, whatever by the end of it.
I like how he's like, how Patton Oswalt was like, well, some people get rich by cutting people's heads off, and Nickelback decided, I don't really want to do that. So they just made shitty music.
Yeah. Really, they deserve a medal for that.
Yeah. Thanks for not cutting my head off. Could have made me deaf before you started making music, but
Yeah.
There's another universe where dictator Chad Kroger is chopping people's heads off.
This is how...
Look at this photograph, traitor!
This is how you remind me that you committed treason.
that didn't rhyme at all. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah. Most of their songs, the rhymes are so forced, it doesn't matter.
Don't be baby, bring back my baby. I don't mean maybe. Oh wait, that's Ace Frehley.
Yeah.
There's a alternate universe where Ace Frehley is a dictator and he's super drunk all the time. So he probably runs the country like Boris Yeltsin.
Okay, I would rather live under the dictatorship of Ace Frehley than the dictatorship of Gene Simmons, though.
Oh, the dictatorship of Ace Frehley would be a lot more fun, I think.
You could ignore the disasters going around behind you, but yeah, not so much.
Just like he ignores his guitar tone.
Yeah.
Oh,
snap.
Motherfucker.
I think out of all the people that we've listened to on this podcast, the best dictator would be Lord Such.
Yeah, probably.
I'd bow down to him.
Yeah.
In fact,
Tom
we're
Robinson.
gonna start the raving mad loony party here in Omaha in his honor. So,
All hail Lord Such.
All hail Lord Such.
We're gonna promote Suchism, and I don't know what that is yet, but we're promoting it.
Yes.
We'll figure it out. I mean, that's what most political parties do. They just figure it out.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, what does the other one say? No, we don't want to. We'll just say the opposite, so it sounds like we're against them, like we're different.
What we should do, though...
But we'll just do the same.
Yeah.
We'll just do the same.
What we should do for Suchism, though, is make it super schismatic and to have a bunch of, contrary, offshoots go up from it,
Well, I mean, we can form coalitions with people like Vermin Supreme. I think Vermin Supreme would be very down with Suchism.
Be like in Jello Biafra's fucking campaign. He did.
Suchism, Biafraism.
Yeah. Where he said he wanted to build a statue of some dude and tear up all the roads.
Yeah. We could go and we could just splinter it in full Judean People's Front fashion.
We're the People's Front of Judea.
Splitters.
Splitters.
I thought we were an autonomous collective.
You're kidding yourself.
All right, when we start quoting Monty Python, it's probably time to wrap up. Sean is in the same project as us, so we don't need to have him do any pluggables.
Listen to the shit that we have out on all the shit.
Yes, and listen to R.E.M, especially Document, although...
Actually, you couldn't go wrong with their early stuff.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong with their first 10 or 11 albums, honestly.
Yeah, I know. They're all good.
Yeah.
That's so many.
Yeah, I know.
But they were uber productive. They had, I think, 10 albums from 83 to 94, 95.
I can't even say how many of their first albums to listen to for sure, because it's I can't keep track of the point where they fall off. They eventually do kind of fall off. They don't bottom out though, but it's just you're fine listening through.
So there's nothing that would fit in the there's nothing that would fit into the bad album season that I'm plotting, right?
No, it's basically when the drummer left is when they kind of, because I think they were trying to redefine themselves or something.
Is it you listen to it once and you're like, oh, that was neat?
Yeah, more or less the post drummer era, and he quit for medical reasons and stayed on good terms with them too, and would occasionally guest or so. But
it's crazy how much the drummer changing can affect the sound. Later in the season, we'll be doing an album by The Sword, And we were actually talking to Adam earlier about how I felt their sound completely changed with their drummer. And yeah, I guess that happened to R.E.M. too.
Yeah. And they didn't like formally replace him either. They just worked with like session drummers.
Musicians, yeah.
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 Because, well, they had made like an agreement in the beginning that if any of them quit, that the band was over. And then, so when he decided to step down, they were all gonna quit, and he told them, "No, I don't want you to do that."
And so they just didn't officially replace him.
So they didn't replace him.
Yeah. Kind of like John Deacon and Queen. He's just like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys, I'm done.
Yeah. No, like
Well, he didn't think anybody could replace Freddie Mercury. Like,
I think he's right about that.
yeah. Well, that's their, yeah.
But yeah, Bill Berry though, like he just became like a farmer. He stopped doing music entirely, really.
Well, I think he had like an aneurysm on stage or something like that.
Yeah.
Farming, a man of your talents. Oh, now I'm quoting Star Wars, so we should probably really end it.
Yeah. So yeah, listen to our shit, listen to R.E.M, and we have been Side 1, Side B with Dave and Steve.
And Sean.
And Sean. Catch you on the flip side.
Side B with Dave and Steve is a Floof Goof Studios production. You could find us on Instagram at KillRockMusicSWS and Dave_Diction. You can find us on Bluesky at KillRock Music and Beastmaster General. Check out our musical projects, The Alliterates and Lucid Fugue, on all major streaming platforms, and links to each at my website, killrockmusic.com. That's KILRAVOCK music.com. This also includes my past projects, Megaton and Valley of Shadows, and my current solo project, Kill Rock. You can also find Dave's past project, Gong Farmer, at GONGFERMOUR.bandcamp.com. Thanks.
Everyone we worked with is dead.
Really ripped.
Yeah.
I need to change my pants.
Leonard Bernstein.